Hello everyone, and welcome to Somnambulist, Mage Somnambulist, episode number 11. Oh, that's nice. Sheepy is just making sure that he's done everything that he needs to, and he thinks he has. Which is possibly why he feels a bit off-put, because it feels like there should be something else I should be doing. Somnambulist, episode number 11. It's great to be here, and... I can't do intros. There's...
God, we've been doing this for so many years.
I know.
Fuck it. Yeah, part 11 of 4.
Part 11 of 4. Maybe. Yes. We have, oh, there is stuff I can talk about. So, if you're watching this on the YouTube, you may be like, hey, what happened to Sheepdog Gaming, that YouTube channel that I'm subscribed to? Why does it now say The Wandering Inn? I finally changed things around. You know, I'm not doing gaming anymore. I haven't been for a long time, but I think everyone knows that. And I decided to get things sorted in that regards. So I have changed the name, I've changed the avatar, I've changed the banners and everything. And I have also, if anyone is interested, made a second channel on YouTube called The Wandering Inn Shorts, where I'm going to be posting up short clips of the shows just to kind of like blast out there into YouTube. I may even make a TikTok and put them on TikTok, but I'm not going to use TikTok because I hate TikTok. So, you know, if you're interested, that's out there now too. Majorly though, if you want to stay up to date with the shows that are happening and just, you know, chat in general, the Discord's great. Sometimes I even do little gaming streams on Discord and people come into the voice chat and shout at me, for all the show things that I've done. Additionally, there's Twitter. If you don't use Discord and you want to stay up to date, I always put out on the Twitter when a show's going live, and sometimes there's trailers and things like that. We're working on those things. Finally, if you want to support the shows, if you want to support the channel, go over to the Patreon. There are some changes coming up. I'm still working on them, so maybe next month, end of the year, I'll talk about them properly, but essentially, the best way to support the channel is over on Patreon. All of that money goes directly into paying the cast, and anything left over goes into art and overlays and production and all that kind of thing. And once we get to... I don't have the exact number, but I believe it's around about... is it 600? It's around about 600. Once we get to around about $600, that will completely unlock a second show, and then we'll be running 2 shows a week, and my life will get even more hectic, which will be a great amount of fun. So, last week, quite a lot happened actually last week. We had a confrontation with those weird entities. We had a couple of fights. We found out that Kira is a crystal being thing. She's like a gemstone now on a plinth that's powering the expansion in the spirit realm of this weird kind of void existence that is slowly overtaking the spirit realm. We also had Moonface Stab Gaia, played by the wonderful Gaming FTL / Josh, who almost got overtaken by whatever the hell it is that sword does. But even though she resisted it, the wound itself was not healable and led to her essentially turning into almost like this weird charcoal substance and dying. And the final part was that Killja, the weird child shadow thing turned up and actually spoke to Shelby and said that he was, or they were, Kildara, or the Void King, whatever that means. So, getting into it, shall we, to begin with, rejoin Alfie in the Vale? Alfie, you've been wandering through the Vale. You have seen a few different manners of being here. Some have been very kind of like insubstantial shades. Others have been a bit more solid. You know, you've got your zombies, you've got all these type of things. However, because of your abilities, because of your mastery over death, well, not mastery, but ability with death, let's say, you are able to move through being mostly undetected and mostly kind of like, it's also almost like you're carving a little pathway through the Vale. I imagine that it is fairly... I don't think it's particularly frantic, but it might. I feel like it's fairly purposeful. You know, there's not much distraction. There's not much stopping.
Absolutely.
So, you find yourself finally in a place that resembles a kind of almost tribal village. You've got like huts, you've got the kind of straw tops, you have a big kind of like stacked fire, and a large mountain volcano. And you can see like a procession of like shadow figures kind of snaking up the mountain to the top.
I'm gonna start walking up the mountain, kind of pushing past any of the shades that start to get in my way.
Yeah. The shades themselves seem to hold very little purpose, in the sense of they appear to just be there, almost kind of if they had eyes, they'd be like dead-eyed, they'd just be staring ahead. So even like pushing them out of the way and stuff like that, you don't really register to them. As you get to the top, you hear some as you get further towards the top, you hear some... Actually, what you hear first is a scream. It's kind of like, ah! Cut off.
Huh. And just like continue. I'm at the top at this point, or I'm getting to the top?
Probably about 2/3 of the way up when you hear the scream.
I am going to hurry a little bit.
Okay.
Because now I'm starting to think that if Beta happens to be up there and is falling into a volcano somehow, that's gonna suck. And I don't want him to do that or go through that again. So I'm just gonna try to hurry.
Okay. At the top, you are presented with they're a bit more substantial essentially they are still kind of shadowy figures, but they have features, they have some adornments even, and they are surrounding a stone slab at the top of this mountain volcano. You can see like they're close to the lip of the volcano, and kind of over down you can see the kind of little bit of smoke rising, and there is a slight glow from the lava down in the bottom. At the bottom of the table in a pile is probably, it's hard to say numbers, but there is a mound of hearts.
Whoa. I am just gonna walk right into the middle and just be like, so what's all this then, folks?
There's no register of your, like, having walked into the middle of it. There's no real recognition. However, in the distance, you kind of like a little ways down the trail, you do hear, no, there's no need for this. We can talk, we can work something out. Come on, please. Like, someone else can do this job, can't they?
I look over.
Yeah, as you look down, you see a fairly tanned, like garbed in golden chains and jewelry and headdress and everything, with a few like tribal tattoos and things like down his arms and across his chest. A person being passed up the line, up towards the.
Hey, whoa, hold on a minute. And I'm gonna go over to basically where this person will end up.
Yep.
Are they still kind of like a shade-ish or like with features, or are they a little bit more solid?
More solid.
Oh shit. Yeah, I'm like hoofing it over there then.
Yep. They get passed off and then they get dropped, and as they get dropped, two kind of like shadowy figures start slowly moving towards them as they, put their hands up. They start saying, look, there's no reason, absolutely no reason to do this. This is silly. Can't we just... And then he gets like grabbed and like dragged, with his feet like trailing towards the slab.
Yeah, I'm like, I try to make it to the slab before they do.
Yep.
Hey, okay, whoa. Hey, are you... What's going on here?
Are you getting in their way, or are you stopping them?
I'm trying to stop them.
Okay. If you're trying to stop them, essentially, they won't stop by you physically getting in the way, so you'll notice that as you get in front, as you put your hand out, they just keep walking towards you.
Okay.
So if you want to let them carry on, you can, or you can,
I'm gonna try to back up, and I'm actually gonna try to use my power to stop them.
Yeah, you can do.
And put my hand out. Do they stop?
Yeah, what you essentially do is you put your hand out and you channel your magic. One thing I can tell you, more potent here.
Ooh.
Easier to manipulate, easier to use. And these kind of like bindings like snake up from the ground, from this kind of like dusty grey ash that's all over the ground around you, and just wrap around them and kind of chain them, and they are held there as the person in the grip of these two kind of, let's call them guards for the sake of argument,
Sure.
Looks up and says, I don't know who you are, but thank you.
You're welcome, I think. Sorry, this just looks like the precursor to something a friend went through.
No, that yeah, they were gonna sacrifice me. They were gonna cut out my heart and throw me into the volcano, and I don't know why, but they keep doing it. How is it
What do you
possible?
mean?
How is it possible they keep doing it?
What do you mean they keep doing it?
He's still kind of held by the gods. Just FYI, he's still kind of like, but he points over towards the to the slab, to the hearts, and he says, "Those are mine. All of those are mine." But I should be dead.
You
What?
are dead. That's just. I'm pretty sure you're dead already. Just as an aside. When did you get here?
I don't.
That's a stupid question. Time doesn't have any meaning here.
Where am I?
You're in the realm of the dead.
I should be in my village. They were planning to sacrifice me to the gods to stop the volcano from erupting.
It can't, like, I'm in my head, I'm thinking this is too much of a coincidence.
Yeah.
You don't remember me, do you?
You're dressed very strangely, and
It's
I
okay.
don't believe I've ever met you before. Are you from the village?
No. No, I'm not. And I'm just gonna drop the bindings for a second and just kind of let them proceed, because I want to see what happens.
Yeah. They start moving again and dragging. He's like, wait, what? No, we don't have to do this. No. And they pick him up and drop him on the slab and hold his arms and his legs, and then one of the shadowy figures moves forward and raises up this like wicked curved like serrated bone knife for a moment before stabbing down.
Does it sound like it hurts him?
When it goes in,
Yeah.
yeah, he starts screaming, and
fuck.
it starts like cutting, and there's a slightly sickly, like, you know, all of that stuff. I'm assuming you just want to see how all this goes, but
I just want to see how he jumps into the volcano and then what happens, kind of thing.
The heart is removed and put down with all of the others.
I'm gonna just try to pick it up, actually.
Okay. It's
And just kind of hold it.
given your abilities with death, it's not real in the sense of being an actual living person's heart. This would be kind of similar to if you cut the heart out of a zombie or something, maybe. There is a solidity to it. It's just, there's no life to it. And as he is lifted and taken towards the and taken towards the edge of the volcano, you hear him say, "No, I need that. No, don't." And then
Head first.
as he's thrown, he screams the same scream you heard before. Ah! And as he is taken by the volcano.
I'm just gonna wait to see and actually look back at where he first came in and got passed up the line and see if that happens again.
About 5 minutes pass before you hear, no, we don't have to do this. We don't have to do this. There's no reason that we need to do this. Come on. Like, This is stupid. This is and
I'm gonna go and receive him myself then.
okay. The ritual will continue. Where the guards come and they take him, and
I will keep the guards kind of like tethered.
You just
while I
tether.
instead, yeah, I'll just tether them and take him instead. Be like, all right. Clearly, you've gone through this a few times. You wouldn't happen to know why?
Why what?
And I just point to the mound of hearts and then to the volcano.
I don't know. Last thing I remember, I was being thrown into a volcano, and then I'm being passed up the line again, and I don't know. Like, it just keeps happening. Wait, I mean, is this a dream? Is this a nightmare? Am I asleep with my wife, with my kids? Like, what's going on?
Ooh, that part hurt a little. I'm just gonna like put my hands up and just be like, let me try to figure this out so that you're not gonna go through this again. Because that heart bit looked like it hurt, especially. And I'm just gonna like try to put a hand almost like on his forehead and see if he has, like, I'm gonna try to like channel my power to see if he has perhaps any memory or anything. Like, I don't even know if this is something I can do, but I'm gonna try to see if there's any remnants of Beta and the memories of Beta in this being.
Yeah, there's influence here. Essentially, it has all been wrapped up and chained into like the dark recesses of this entity's being. Pretty much everything Beta was before death is here. Nothing else. It's all been wrapped up and chained, and it's like locked. And the influence is roll me a either a wit's death or a occult death, please.
Wit's death or occult death. Hold on. So
you got,
I think it's probably the same for me. So do I get any bonuses because of the veil in general specialities?
Not in this instance, no. But I will tell you that occult death will be much more like what's been done, and wits will be more like the signature, like who done it.
Ooh, I want to know who done it.
So wit's death would be
right.
the...
I mean, it's the same either way. It's 4 dice, so that's one success.
One success? That's enough.
Okay.
You recognize let's call it the footprint left on Beta. A certain being with whom you had recently become acquainted and been carrying around with you, who was also released when...
No, not the fucking Reaper.
The Revenant, yeah.
Revenant, sorry. God damn it. I'm just gonna sigh really heavily and just kind of look at him and just be like, I'll just hold his face and just be like, don't worry, I'll get us out of here. And just kind of tap his face.
You want to unlock it?
Yes. But I'm gonna tell him, I'm just like, you might want to sit for this one because it's gonna be like trying to do a little bit of surgery on your brain, but it hopefully won't hurt. So
I mean, you know, flesh maybe, debatable. Solidity, yes. But essentially, all you have to do is just sever that chain, and everything comes released.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna put a hand again on his forehead and just search for the chain, and just shatter it.
And there's like a second where he kind of like reels a little bit and like puts his hand to his nose, and then he like looks over at all the hearts, and he looks back at you. He's like, "Hello, Alfie."
What's going on, Beta?
Well, you know, hanging out in the Vale, getting tortured, reliving the worst day of my life. How are you?
Trying to prevent you from reliving it again.
Well, I mean, you let me die that one time.
Are you really gonna hold that against me here?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it was about a couple of hundred times before that, so I guess what's one more between friends, but feels like maybe you could have stopped it earlier, possibly. I don't want to complain or anything, but
I am like gonna start dragging him towards the volcano.
okay, no, it's fine. I'm not gonna complain. Why would I complain? Please don't put me in the volcano again.
What we can do to make that better is deal with the entity that did this to you.
It's, you know, it's fine. You know, what are you gonna do? You're gonna wander around the Vale trying to find the exact same entity that did this? He's long gone by now.
You know who did this.
Yeah, it was that that guy you picked up at the cemetery. He does. I never asked him his name. Essentially, turns out, fun fact, can't go into wherever it was you went with your mates. Just basically got squished like a pancake against the side of that thing, and then our fella there was like, grabbed me, went through the remnants of the tunnel, made their way back, threw me in the Vale, hooked me up to this I don't know, punishment loop or whatever. But
let me try to find him.
right.
But I'm gonna just kind of put a hand to the ground now, to the soil, and just kind of pick a little bit of it up, kind of rub the stones like between my fingers, and just see if I can feel a direction for where this entity is at. And if I find it, I want to pull it towards me at an immeasurable speed.
Okay. You have a vague direction and a sense of distance. Summoning doesn't work the same way here as it does in the real world, in the real plane.
Sure.
It may not be impossible to do, but it would be easier to, essentially, I don't... Roll me occult and death.
Sure. Occult and death is...
I think it's
4
5.
again.
Oh, it's 4.
It's 4, yeah. I have 2 in death and 2
that's
in
right.
occult. Ooh, 3 successes.
3 successes. Essentially, you would be extending out your power to wherever it is and binding it and then yanking it. It'd be like a really long fishing rod, basically. On the other side, it's literally kind of like drawing them to the what's it called? The veil, like the space in between life and death, and then bringing them through. So because of the nature of things, there's no real distance to travel. They just through from where they are, basically.
Right.
So it's possible, but you may be standing here for God knows how long, waiting to reel it in. And also it could require a lot of power.
So could I then theoretically open a hole in the veil, step through to then open up another hole in the veil to get towards where it is?
Yes.
Or closer?
Yes.
Like almost like a shadow step kind of thing?
Yeah, you could. Again, you'd have to use the gloves. Unless you...
Oh, yeah, okay.
But again, the gloves don't, they leave a tear, so...
Right. Oh, shit. Okay.
Like, all of this is, like, technically, yes, you can, but you'll have to prepared to basically, like, leave holes in reality as you're jumping in and out.
Right. Okay.
And also, as you're essentially like feeling the ground and sensing all this out, Beta says, "So what happened with your friends?"
I don't know. I felt that you weren't with us, and I ran off to find you.
Oh, that's very nice. Appreciate it. Took a little bit of time, but that's fine. Not gonna complain. Do you think we should be tracking down this guy?
Well, I'm not leaving until he suffers as you have.
Shit.
So, I'm gonna try to reel him in. I'm gonna see how, like, I'm gonna try to feel how long that line would be. If it's gonna be too long or too difficult to pull him in, then I'm just gonna take Beta and just start walking.
Okay. Hard to tell exactly. But I would say it's too far really for you to, like, technically speaking, yes, you could reach out, yes, you could reel him in. It would drain your power quite a lot, and also it would probably take at least what would feel like here, like maybe a week.
Oh, fuck, okay.
Yeah, so it seems like he pretty much pretty much did the thing and then just fucked off about his business, I guess.
Yeah, for however long it takes to go through 100 and 200 some odd hearts. Okay. I recognize at least what it feels like.
Yeah. You've had enough experience with this particular revenant that you can isolate it if you want to, Tell you what.
Is there like here's a weird question. Is there like a ghost horse soul around, out of curiosity, in a village?
Okay, so first up,
yeah,
roll me your occult and your death again, please.
Okay. Two successes.
Okay. So one of the things that you have been taught recently is the ability to craft from the veil.
Oh, yeah. Oh! Oh my god. Okay. Um, fuck. All right, so I'm just gonna be like, all right, just move over for a second. And I'm gonna like start to kind of like form the dirt um just around into what I'd like to make into like a soul dirt horse.
Yeah. It essentially there's almost like a whistling of wind. First time there's been any kind of air movement at all in this place since you've been here. As the dust, the sand, this weird kind of like film covering everything, just kind of curls up and starts to form as you move it, as you mold it, and you solidify it until eventually it is grey. It looks like ash, but it is in the shape of a horse.
All right, and I'm just gonna like make a little step so I can get up onto it, and I'll be like, come on.
Not really horses, aren't really.
Get on.
As a sidebar, you also need to like. There's nothing.
I'll need to imbue something into it, right? I'll be like, better yet, what's your locomotion of choice?
I tended to walk I've walked everywhere.
No.
So,
We've been working together, you being the locomotion.
oh, I mean, you made me a kind of golem a lot of the time, or like a kind of like a metal robot person a lot.
But like, what do you want to be? Like, if there was something that you could be to go fast, and you'd like that, and you'd want to do it, what do you want to be? Because or else it's the horse.
I mean, the horse is fine, I guess.
And I'm just gonna like take his head and just kind of smash it into the the dirt horse.
Just just essentially channel him into it.
Yep.
Okay. And as there's kind of like a light fizzling around as he kind of shimmers into the horse. At which point you feel movement. You feel like the twitching of muscles beneath you that technically aren't there, but you know. And then the horse turns its head round and says,
Alright, where are we going?
And I just like point in the direction that I can feel the revenant. Be like, let's go get him.
Okay, but if you say giddy up, I'm on strike.
I'm very tempted, but no, please just go.
okay. And you head off in the direction of where you sense this revenant. At the same time, over in the White Room in Sesha. No. Killjar has stepped out, spoken to Shelby, said we used to be Killjar, the Void King. Reached out and touched him on the head and disappeared. Shelby essentially collapses to the ground. Unconscious. Not dead. And you are both left to yourselves. With unconscious Shelby and the charcoal remains, let's say, of Gaia.
I think despite wiping away the tears, the moment Shelby drops to the floor, Nell will run to him and check because well he's just dropping. He may also just drop dead. So wiping away the tears, she will run over to the body and feel for a heartbeat. And if she feels that there is one,
As you move your hand towards his body, it stops. Kind of just a few feet away from him. You're pushing towards his body, but the same amount of pressure is being pushed back towards your hand. Essentially, the more you push, the more resistance there is, so your hand stays in the exact same place. You can't get closer.
Sasha, I can't reach him.
I mean, what did you expect to do?
He just dropped to the floor. I want to see if he's all right.
All right, and
I can
What?
give to you here. He is at least breathing.
Okay. Right, he's still alive.
all right, well then he's fine. Can't really say the
Suppose.
same for others.
We should find Alfie. She's been gone for a while now. Maybe.
I'm sure she's fine. She's
Yeah,
a
I'm
big girl. She
Sure,
can take care of
everyone's
herself.
fine.
She's probably better off than we are.
Why? Because she didn't. They just see this.
No, because she ran off and left us. Remind me again, Nell. Do friends do that? When you're about to have a big bad fight, do they just turn around and leave you? Not very nice, if you ask me.
We can't change anything about that now. And
No, we can't.
Kaya's dead. And she died for us to save us.
You're right. She did die to save us. But she did not die so we could go on a wild goose chase for somebody that decided to run off. We still have something to do.
You're right. Maybe we wait until tomorrow, though.
Fine. I still have one eye. What else could go wrong? And I will storm upstairs.
Why did you? Right. You really want to be alone now?
Don't worry, it's me, myself, and my eye. We'll be fine.
Fine. Yeah. We're all fine now. Seeing as Sasha stormed off upstairs, Nell will sit down on the table that's still in the room there with view on Gaia's charcoal body and Shelby's unconscious body, and will kind of, wait there, not really feeling like it's all right to just leave.
You kneel, sitting next to Shelby's body, unconscious body, with Gaia nearby. And maybe a few minutes, 5 minutes, could be 10, you're not really keeping track. There's a... at the door.
This door or the front door?
Front door.
All right. Up until that point, Nell would have sat on the table and taken out the doll that she had gotten from Merlin way back in the beginning. She would have just like held it in her hand and just like mumbled to it. Really could use some tea and a bit of distraction and rambling from you right now. And she'll look up as the door is bonked on. And we'll put the doll away, wipe away some more tears, and then head there to see what that is about.
Okay. I'm assuming you open the door.
Yeah. Is there like a little peephole?
Sure. Yeah. Just want to peek through
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
You don't see anyone.
All right.
Then, boom. Another knock on the door.
Nell's not gonna open it yet, but she's gonna lower down, crouch on the ground on her knees, and will use 2 portals to stick her hand through the door on
Okay.
like the ground level to feel if there's like a package there or something.
Oh, okay. As you reach through, your hand feels like kind of it almost maybe like a curtain or something. But you also hear hey, what are you doing?
I retract a hand.
Stop
Does
it.
that
Get off me! And open the door. What do you? Come on.
does that voice sound familiar?
Not to you, no.
I take back my hand. Portal's gone, and then I call out from the other side of the door. State your name and business.
My name is Baba. It is council business. Open the door. What are you waiting for?
Nell has that like panicked moment where she turns around, like stands next, like against the door with her hands spread, and like looks around and is like, "Fuck.
I can open the door, but I don't want to have to apologize to Shelby afterwards.
Yeah, no, totally. Just give me a minute to clean up. It's really dirty in here. Like,
I don't
what,
care
what,
about dirt.
1 minute, 1 minute,
Open the
yeah.
door. Where's Sesha? Sesha? Sesha?
And Nell, tries to, I know it's more difficult in this house,
Yeah.
but tries to, maybe fails once, teleport up to Sesha's room. Oh no, she wants to do that. She maybe opens a portal and then she runs to the door to the white room and closes it.
Okay. As you're running away,
Yeah.
You feel something for a second. It's weird. But it kind of drifts away and it doesn't seem important. You're sitting there with your doll, kneeling in front of Shelby's body. Gaia's right there as well. And then you hear a pounding at the door. For the record, you don't remember anything about just what just.
I was about to play that, yeah.
Okay.
Fuck, yeah. I put away the doll, wipe away some tears, and get out of the door. A last look to check if everything's alright in the right room. Like, knowing there's not a physical threat there, but just wanting to make sure before I close that door and I go to the front door. And I ask, who's there?
Yes, Baba. I'm here for council. Council business. Please open the door.
I'm sorry. You're Baba?
I'm Baba. Sesha, are you there?
How loud
I'm
is Baba
afraid-
shouting?
She's not. that
Sasha's a
loud.
bit preoccupied. Maybe come back at a better time, Miss lady.
Mistress Baba.
Yes, Mistress Baba. Sasha's on the toilet. I don't think you want to visit her right now. I'm sure she would love a cup of tea with you, like tomorrow if you have some time, maybe.
I'm not here for Sesha. Are you going to open the door, or do I need to do something drastic again?
Are you going to kill someone if I open the door?
No, I will not kill anyone.
Are you? And I open the door like only slightly so that I can just look at the figure there. And I say, are you inhabiting a mortal body that's not your own? And I look up and down.
And she is like hunched, like covered in cowls and scarves, and they're all black and they're all a bit dusty and muddy. And she's like a wrinkled old lady, and she looks at you and she's like, if I was, why would I come here like this?
Okay, yeah, fair enough. And I open the door.
And she kind of scuttles in, and that's good. Now, where is Sesha? She's not on the toilet.
How do you... No, she's not on the toilet.
And that is not her fate.
Didn't know it could be someone's fate to be on the toilet.
Clearly, you do not take bowel movements very seriously. Wait till you get to my age.
Well, I'm sure Sasha would love to show you her room.
How is her eye?
Did she? No, she didn't. Do you own a cell phone,
No?
Mistress Baba?
I no.
Yeah.
Today was the day Sesha was going to lose her eye. Did she lose her eye?
Yes, she did.
Okay, then things are moving apace. Now let's go. Let's go.
Um, uh, sure.
Where is Gaia's body? Is it in the room? The white one?
You, you've already seemed to know everything, so why ask me?
It's polite.
So Seshel did learn that from you. Alright.
And fate is not even completely, what do you say, like a solid. So sometimes I know things that are going to happen that do not happen. So it is possible that Sesha still has her eye, that Gaia is still alive. Where is Shelby anyway?
Were you one of the people who put the holes in Shelby's body?
Why would I put holes in Shelby's body?
The council put holes in Shelby's body.
Ah, no. That was Gwen. Gwen did that. She's not a very happy person.
Did you agree with that?
It was funny.
Right, Sesha is upstairs.
Oh, what is time? Of course, time. Yes, time. It is time. Come. And she starts walking towards the stairs, and then instead of going up the stairs, she goes into the white room. She's like, there's Shelby. Shelby is right there. Come on, you'll be late for your friend returning.
Sesha?
Help. Sorry.
I was about to say your mom is here to see you, but you have guests.
Sesha, your mom's here to pick you up.
Dude, we're gonna be late.
At which point, Alfie, you rip open the veil. And if you're okay with it, I think you'll walk through with a new adornment, a semi-opaque kind of dodecahedron on a chain. What this is essentially a microcosm of what you found. Sorry, give me one sec here. Here we go. It is essentially a microcosm of what you found Beta being subjected to. It is essentially a punishment cage made up of the veil. What will have happened, and this is purely for the sake of time, if you're okay with that.
Of course.
Essentially what happened is you tracked down the Revenant. You did the same thing as before, basically hold it in place, draw it towards you, and then you shoved it into this construction that you've made. It essentially solidifies the Revenant into a kind of mortal body, and subjects them to repeated echoes of their past, of bad moments, of bad memories, of all of that type of thing. And kind of like chucks away all of the post-death stuff so that they have to experience it almost as a human. He is in there, restrained and vaguely being tortured until you're ready to deal with him.
I'm just gonna, I'll step out of the tear in the veil and close it up the best I can. Let's just look around and be like, hey, who's that?
I do not know your name, but you are friends with Sasha, yes?
Who is this?
Did you go with Babo?
I called up to Sasha first.
So in that case, Sasha, you will have heard the call at that point, yeah.
I'll look at her and be like, you could say that some days. Sometimes.
Okay. Sasha, are you coming downstairs?
No, I was going to take a nap. What is it?
Yeah, it's not your fate to
Baba?
nap. I think she's here to like. It kind of seems similar to when a parent comes to celebrate a kid's birthday. Like they come in. She could have like been holding cake or something, being like, "Hey, happy you lost your eye" or something. Anyway, she's in there.
Ah, yes, of course. I forgot. I almost forgot until just now. All right.
Yeah, you go first.
Why? You're not scared of old Baba, are you?
I'm not scared. It's just I feel like there's this vibe going on, and you two match perfectly, and I wouldn't want to get in the way. Also, she's not here with a birthday cake of "Hey, you lost your eye, congrats." For me, it's
She
probably
wouldn't
for
do that.
you, so why? Because it's not
I
in
understand.
your fate to eat cake.
Oh, now you're interested in fate.
Baba, I brought Sasha for you.
Sasha?
Baba!
Oh my god.
Sasha, you lost your eye.
I did, just as you said I would.
It's a worthy sacrifice.
It was.
I back away slowly, knowing that it's now a council member.
Are you going to fix hole?
We're going to get to that eventually, I'm sure.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm just gonna start like trying to patch it up as best I can. I'd be like almost as though, you know, I'm patching a wall really poorly.
well, look what the spirit realm dragged in. Oh, sorry, you weren't there. That's right. Sorry, you were in the what was it? The souls plane. Welcome back.
I haven't even looked at her yet. I'm just like, it's called the Veil, actually. And
Oh, Alfie is
And
back.
it sucks.
Yeah, Alfie's
yeah.
back. And look,
hi. And I look
totally
up finally.
fine.
What happened? What did I missed something. Wow. Or several somethings.
Nell
Her
probably
eye.
also has bruises on her for being smashed into the fucking floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't look good.
So nice of you to join us.
Just as a sidebar, Baba, while you are arguing, has waddled over to Gaia and is like kind of fussing over around her.
As long as it's fussing over, it's fine.
I haven't gone to the white room yet, so I'm
You're in
Haven't
the
seen
white
that.
room. That's where you came out.
Oh, we are in the right room? Oh, okay. I'm just gonna look around and be like, what's the crystal? And is Shelby alive?
He's fine. And that pile of crystal or dust over there, that's Gaia. You remember her, right? You know, right before you left us.
She died.
Yes, she died. Baba, don't touch those. I called
Oh.
dibs on them first.
Oh my god.
No one's taking any part of Gaia's body. to do any weird stuff with. Thank you.
There isn't much of a body left.
And
I wasn't even
yes,
going to do anything
I
with her
noticed.
anyways.
Thank you for pointing that out.
I'm
No
just
one's
gonna
taking the
sit
dust.
down.
Yeah, so Gaia's dead, Shelby's unconscious, and you just pop back in after leaving us.
Jesus, you go away for like 2 minutes to another realm.
Seriously, like, how long was it?
Well, you know, we all, as a group, right now, I'm pretty sure all three of us agreed that we were going to be doing this, right? Including Gaia. She was going to take us, to the spirit realm. And then we, popped in there, and then all of a sudden we turn around and, well, there wasn't 4 of us. There was only 3.
Yes.
First of all, she was gonna take 5 of us, including Beta, and Beta wasn't there. So I went to go get Beta. And by the way, the Revenant I got as well didn't come through. So
Neither did Gaia's friend. But Gaia didn't
that's-
leave us.
it's a little different. Beta's really important to me.
Yeah, you can't take life or death into a place where life or death does not exist. Very,
And you didn't
very
think at all
simple,
that even-
elementary.
You didn't even think that Gaia's friend, is the same to her? Well, let's ask her. Oh, Gaia! Oh, right, we can't.
That's
You
enough.
you understand spirits are different than souls, right?
They're both
Alfie-
considered companions, are they not? Just like Kira
Sometimes.
and her friend, little fox friend.
Yeah, but that's not always the case.
Look-
They're often very not. I don't know. Souls are more solid in my mind.
Well, you know what? In the end, it doesn't matter because it already happened. We found
Regardless-
Kira.
Of companions, you did leave the 2 of us.
With a powerful mage.
Oh, yeah, and look how she's doing now.
Well, how did it happen? I mean, did you fight something?
Oh,
thought
I
you were
don't
just
know.
gonna go find Kira.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you not notice that Nell is covered in bruises? And I lost an eye. And Gaia is now
I had
dust.
no idea. It
Hmm.
was so not obvious.
I think we can do with a little less passive aggressiveness in this situation.
Fine, Nell, you go ahead and do the talking with her, dear.
I feel like could be a bit less aggressive after everything that happened, and if we would have put that all on the rug. We found Kira as a fucking crystal somewhere in the spirit realm, but after which we got attacked by the creations of our dearest Sesha and Kira, apparently, who then destroyed Gaia, began to destroy the fucking realm they were in, and we got out thanks to Gaia, who paid with her life. So excuse
No.
us for being
Nell, darling,
angry that you left.
you forgot to mention that we lost Kira in the spirit realm. Her crystal self in the spirit realm. You forgot that part.
Wait, you lost? Wait.
At
So you
this
found?
at this point as well, like Baba straightens up and turns around and starts listening.
So you lost? No, sorry. You found Kira as a crystal, still alive, and then fought some things, and they tried to destroy the realm that they were in?
No. They created a realm and they are using Kira, whatever form she is now, crystal, rock, whatnot. They're essentially using it as a catalyst. Or battery, essentially. A battery, more or less. To power their expansion of the spirit realm. And the realm allows no spirit or soul to exist.
So then what are those things that you ran into? Are
Well,
they
technically,
mages?
no. Technically, they're Kira and my creations, children. Very bad children, technically. I don't think I was that rambunctious when I was younger. Baba, was I that much of a problem when I was younger?
Younger? Is no different from now.
Ah, see, there we go.
No. I'm gonna give you a little piece of information. You've always had a vague sense of feeling of space in the house, and it's always felt very vast. It now feels like a house. Or at least it feels like maybe it's contracting and being less vast.
All right. Is anything changing to Shelby?
Not that you can see.
No. All right.
But I'll give you this as well. If you kind of focus on like space and etc., you can't really tell anything about Shelby in terms of like his position or his anything.
Right. I think Nell kind of zones out for like a second, feeling that, and then like has like a little shudder of like, this feels ominous or meaningful, and will then slowly like zone in on the conversation again.
I mean,
Anyways.
I didn't want you guys to. I thought you'd be okay. I thought you were just gonna go find her and come back so that we could figure out what to actually do about it.
Well, we did. We found her.
And you got into a fight?
You think we wanted to?
I don't know.
They
wasn't there.
They wanted to kill Nell and Gaia. And, well, I
But
mean,
not
isn't it
you?
obvious? No, not me. Of course not me. I mean, they're my children, so, you know. Oh, Baba, by the way, technically, since they're my children, you're a grandmother. Mazel tov.
Thank you. What are you talking about?
Well, I created beans.
You created beans.
Not beans like, you know, the vegetable, but like beings. Like, they're not really spirits, but they're not really souls either. I guess they're kind of a weird combination of my magic along with Kira's, you know, and ta-da!
Alright. I don't know what that means, but it... Sesho. Could you please roll me wits?
That is a 1. Just my wits?
Wits and empathy.
Wits and empathy. Okay, let's see here.
Or expression.
Where's my expression?
It's just below empathy.
Oh, well, it's technically 1 because I don't have any expression.
Okay. 1 success? Okay. You know what? Yeah. That doesn't sound true. From having been with Baba for quite a while, she's never been a great liar. Good manipulator, but never a great liar. And with your added time spent with her and everything, just something in the way she said it, the way in her body language, it feels like there's something additional there. Or something that she's not saying, or something that she said that was not completely true.
Baba,
Yes.
you know that you know when you spend a lot of time with someone, you begin to know them really well.
Yes.
And did you know that if you spend enough time with someone, you can actually tell if they're, hiding something or lying?
Yeah, I always said you're very see-through.
So are you.
What do you mean?
Baba, I just lost an eye. The least you could do is share with us what you know.
I have been alive a long time. I know a lot. What exactly?
I know you know a lot. What you just said. What I just said. Earlier. You know something about it, don't you?
Do you really think that this is the first time this has happened?
Of course not.
A long time ago, there was a young mage, powerful with her friends, who decided to create life from another realm. And she did. She created the being from spirit. She gave it life. Other mages helped her. They made... And Baba kind of like pauses for a second and like looks in the air. They made a being. They made a being who was almost disconnected from magic, but they then sealed it and siphoned the power to create the council. And then that it has been sealed ever since. It provides energy to the council. It provides life force. It provides the very essence. It siphons. It keeps us alive.
So what you're telling me is you're using this being as a rechargeable battery in order to recharge yourself and the council members.
We were. Until we stopped it.
Change of heart?
I don't like the status quo. So, me and a friend decided to do something about it. But to change everything, we had to deal with the person who helped with the spell, who had it sealed. Once they were gone, the seal would break. Not everyone on the council agrees all of the time with Guinevere. And we decided that it was time for us to age more naturally. Eventually to pass on and for new people to come along. There is nothing good that can come from the same mages always being in power, the same mages always being able to dictate what to do. Especially not Guinevere, who is so obsessed with staying there, with power. So I may have put you in Gaia's path.
Ah, okay. So what I'm understanding is your little battery is that him over there? A part of him?
Shelby, yes.
Ah.
And I imagine when he wakes up, he will have his own opinions about the council and what to do about it.
You know, Baba, I already had plans of overthrowing the council at some point, but, you know, I always thought of making sure that, you know, you still stayed intact. A good vibe about you.
Oh, thank you. I was worried I had to sacrifice a lot more than your eye to get it to work.
And let's not forget about Merlin either. I mean, do you know where he stands in all of this?
It wasn't my idea to do this.
Right, so there's multiple of you that want to.
Knowing him, he should be here right about now. And with that, lightning crackles out of nowhere, from the ceiling, and hits the ground.
Dramatic much.
And standing there, still a long beard, still slightly older, weathered features, but standing a lot more tall and a lot more conscious, is Merlin.
Baba, why can't you make an entrance like Merlin?
I don't have that kind of power.
We'll figure something out, I'm sure.
And Merlin looks around and says, Baba, has it been done?
Nell rushes over. Nell kind of looks like a sad puppy. And runs over to Merlin literally and just hugs him.
As Nell runs towards him, he holds his hand out, and you are held in a kinetic force. Essentially, the force, like a shield of force, like surrounds and holds you, like mid-run. And he says, "Not now, no. Baba, is it done?"
Ouch.
And Baba says, Yes, it has been done. Everything is prepared. And once he comes back, hopefully he will be willing to take his revenge. Good. All right. Well, in that case, I think we should relocate. And he holds out both hands, and lightning flies from his fingers and flies around all three of you and forms into a cage around each of you.
Wait, what about Morgan?
What about Morgan?
Hold on, wait a second. Why are we in a cage?
Just so that you don't try anything drastic.
Drastic? Like what? Drastic. I don't even think that's in our nature.
Isn't Morgan helping too?
No, Morgan does not have the courage or stomach for something like this. She enjoys life a little too much.
She definitely has the stomach.
Oh.
She's.
Not everyone's cut from the same cloth, dear Alfie.
She wouldn't. I'm just kind of.
Look, I
Stay quiet.
really don't think it's necessary to put us into cages.
I take it you did not tell them everything, Baba. Not quite everything.
Baba, you little snake.
Well. And then he looks at you, and his face softens very slightly. I'm sorry for deceiving you, Nell. That is my one regret. Baba, let us go. And he whips his hand, and the lightning cage comes away from all of you, gathers up around Baba and him, and they to give you one extra piece of information, you'll see it at some point. There is a lack within Gaia, essentially a hole where she was currently whole, but now there's like something was dug out of her. And you are left.
I knew I should have kept an eye on that old crone. All right, now, port us out of these cages.
The cages went away with when he
Oh, okay.
withdrew the lightning, so.
Alfie just kind of sits on the ground and sighs.
All right, well, I take it back. You know, when I said I was going to, allow Baba to live. Yeah, no, no, she's going to be on my hit list as well. She's probably going to be the first person. I'm going to strangle her like a chicken.
Must be nice to have patrons who give a shit about you.
Oh, she doesn't give a shit about me. She never has.
How can you say that?
That's not the relationship that Baba and I have. Yes, we have mutual interests and whatnot, but she's not one to attach herself to things.
Oh yeah, it must be very nice to have mentors that actually care for you, that apparently have been deceiving you. Yeah, Elfie, great, thank you. And thank you for being there when we were gone, and we were fighting and leaving us. Thank you, Elfie, yeah. Must have been great.
Nell, I thought we
Truly
were
be
going to
fucking
not
great.
Alfie just starts to
Passive-aggressive.
tear up.
I thought we were not going to be passive aggressive.
I'm not passive aggressive anymore, Sesha. Trust me, the passive is gone. And he fucking took something from Gaia's body. Fuck.
I wanted to be there.
Sure, you did. I cannot, will not deal with this right now.
Alfie, dear, actions speak louder than words.
If I try to get closer to Shelby's body, is there still like a forest holding me back?
At a certain distance, yes.
Yeah, so you see Nell purposely walking over to Shelby, trying to get closer, then all of a sudden stopping, seemingly forcing herself to move forward but not moving. And then she just, again, huffs in agitation. Just, fuck. I can't even. Fine. And she turns around and just backs out of the room.
What does Shelby's fate strings look like?
What fate? You see nothing.
Hey, Nell.
Wait, did Nell leave the room?
Yeah, I was about to say, if you want to say something,
Yeah.
like, you can
Nell.
totally go after her, but she's, like, walking out of the
I
room.
will go chase after Nell.
Okay. Alfie?
Yeah.
But and by chase I mean like walk hastily, and the whole time I'll go Nell, Nell, Nell.
I think
Nell,
if
Nell,
you follow her up the stairs,
Nell,
about, like, halfway up the stairs,
Nell,
she'll turn around and say, What?
Nell.
What do you want?
So remember when Bubba was saying to Merlin that, you know, before the whole like, you know, cage thing, and I'm sorry for betraying, all that kind of stuff. You know how she said yes, that hopefully he will wake up and he would want to take his revenge.
Yes, Shelby, yeah.
Well, he doesn't have a fate currently speaking. So that means that it's completely undetermined, that anything can happen. He's essentially impossible, like a wild card. But his actions could change the fate of many. Remember that spell I was trying to work on with that chair back with Rasputin?
Yeah, what are you trying to get at? Yeah.
I want to try and isolate him from both time and fate before he wakes up. And normally I would do it myself, but you know, I don't see too great. So I am asking yeah. I am asking for assistance.
Oh, right. Fine, I'll help you.
All right, excellent. I will need a knife from the kitchen. I will also probably need more. Can you go up into my room and go get a couple more voodoo dolls? They're like they're usually just kind of like in a pile sitting somewhere. Don't touch the one in the far corner.
You're not blind,
curious.
Sasha. You can get your own voodoo dolls, though.
Yeah, but you can like port in there and port out.
I
have to go write a rune circle right now around him.
And I try to focus on the house, and it feels more like a house now.
It feels like a house now.
Yeah. Fine, I'll get your voodoo dolls.
Excellent. All right, I'm going to go back to the white room.
Right.
And I run to the white room.
Okay. Alfie, have you been up to any, like, what's the...
Alfie is sitting in the white room crying. Kind of distraught and torn between thinking that she did the right thing in trying to save her best friend, and then also leaving them to get injured, you know, in a pretty bloody battle, it seemed. And then seeing Shelby, she might try to just like crawl over to him a little bit.
Okay.
And just see if she can get close.
There comes a point where any attempt to go further is just stopped. You can't get closer than a couple of feet.
I'm just gonna like, once I just kind of sit there and look at him for a minute, I'm gonna go over to where the crystals of Gaia are left over. And just almost like put my hand in them. Are they like powder or are they shards?
It's kind of a like almost crystalline solidness to them, but upon contact they are. It's a bit like wet sand, I guess, whereby it gives way to your hand.
Does it feel like the soul sand at all?
Yeah. A little bit. Similar.
I just want to like channel whatever energy I can in here and like extend it out to whatever this sand is and see if there's any energy or life or remain of Gaia left over here.
You
It's
can
just dust.
You can feel the substance. What I would describe it as is kind of an inert version of the veil, the sand there, the material, the makeup of the veil. Whereas, obviously, being veil, being the land of death, let's say, everything there is dead, there is still energy there.
Yeah.
This is like that, but without any energy, without anything.
I'm just gonna like look at it and say, I'm sorry. I made a choice and I don't know if me being there would have really made a difference.
It doesn't sound like it would have.
They seem to think so.
I'm pretty sure they're about as lost as we are.
At that point, Sesha, you probably walk in.
Ah, yes. All right. So Shelby's there.
Shelby's
Gaia.
not there.
What?
Shelby's not there.
Alfie?
I just look up.
Where's Shelby?
He's right there. He was right there. I was just near him.
Blasted chicken foot and turkey brains! Ah! Where did he go? Oh, shoot. No. I had a plan.
I'm here.
What the fuck?
At the entrance to the White Room. That's where the voice came from. Shelby's standing there.
Mr. Shelby?
Not really anymore.
Kilja?
Kiljara.
Sorry, Kiljara. I'm Sesha.
Sesha, yes, I know.
All right, so you do know everything. I'm assuming, right?
I remember.
Yes. Well, you were laying on the ground a little bit ago.
Yes.
Would it be impolite if I could ask you to go lay back down over there?
Sesha?
Yes.
Where was the entities that you encountered?
My children.
Yes.
Why?
I would like to go and see what they have made.
Well,
And he starts walking forward towards Alfie.
no. I will sprint. I am sprinting towards Alfie. Sprinting.
I'd kind of recoil
Do I-
away from
Do I
Sesha.
reach her?
Yeah, he's not walking fast.
I am clutching onto Alfie's arm, even though Alfie's trying to pull away. I'm clutching.
Let go.
Shh! Stop.
What?
Please. And then I will look at Alfie, and you will see, of course, there's smeared makeup and her, her eyes still oozing blood, and she will look at her with her one eye and then whisper, I refuse to lose one more person. So please.
I am
Stop.
afraid I'm going to need my equipment if I'm going to travel through the realms again. Alfie, if you please.
Wait a second. You can't just come barging in here and start demanding things. You know what they say. You've been away for quite a while. And we have some questions. That's the least you can do, in an exchange for your items returned.
I searched through my bag with my one free arm, trying to figure out what it was, and then it clicking that it's probably the gloves. And I take them out. You mean these?
Those are mine.
You're KVK?
A nickname given to me.
No!
But yes.
No! I am screaming bloody murder for Nell. And talking over him.
I'm like pulling away from Sesha.
I am still clutching on Alfie.
You would hear that, Nell. It's not a big house anymore.
Yeah. I think unlike
And it's not like a normal one. It is like I panicked. Like
yeah.
you could definitely tell it's like panicked.
I think unlike what Sesha was expecting, that Nell would teleport upstairs. Nell would have been like just slowly walking upstairs, like not teleporting to go get the voodoo dolls, and she wouldn't have like gone upstairs, like went to Sesha's room, then started looking for them in what is probably not the. I don't think it's a messy room, but I think it's chaotic. The kind of person where it's like, oh, you need to clean up. No, I know exactly where everything is. Like it's a mess, but I know where everything is. So she would have started looking around for them, like found a couple, and then heard the panic screams right now. After which she would teleport downstairs. And seeing as this now feels as a normal house, does it go without a problem?
Yeah, perfectly fine.
Yeah, so she would teleport downstairs into the white room, with a few voodoo dolls in her hand, and just, what is a?
You see her clutching onto Alfie's like arm.
Alfie is like in panicked fear. Or distress, rather, but like also crying at the same time. It's like a whole fucking mess.
Yeah. Shelby turns around to you now as you pop in. Now, do you have my compass?
You are talking weirdly.
I always sounded like this before.
No, you
This
definitely did
is
not.
this is Kiljara. Al. He woke up from his nap and he's asking for his things back. And he wants to go see what my children have made.
I don't
In that
need
other realm.
the lantern. Merely the gloves and the compass will suffice.
Why?
The compass, so I can find my way once I rip into the spirit realm, and the gloves, so that I can do that. Those are the purposes I made them for in the first place.
Why do you have an interest in what my so-called children have made?
They are essentially brothers to me. I'm interested in how they were created.
All right, well, I created them. Well, in part by another person's magic, but they're not here. No longer. I don't know if they're living or not. But basically, I can't help but think that your interest in them might fuel a idea of you possibly making more of you. Just a theory, really.
There is no reason I would want more of me. It isn't something I would particularly wish on anyone. Alfie? The gloves, please.
And I just do a final, just kind of like a rip from Sesha's arms. And not even looking at her, I just take the gloves and I hand them over.
Place them down. You cannot touch me.
And just put them down. Thank you for everything you've helped us with.
What has he helped us with?
I know we haven't really been your students for very long, but I did learn something.
That wasn't me, Alfie. That was merely my prison.
Baba and Merlin mentioned that you might take your revenge. What did that mean?
He leans down and picks up the gloves, puts them on his hands, and turns around to look at you. Did they not tell you what the council did?
They told us you were essentially being, you... Actually, now that I think about it, my children technically turned Kira into what the council turned you in. So this is kind of a little bit of, comedic karma in some weird, twisted way of fate. Curse you, fate. So, are you going to kill the council members?
I don't know yet.
You don't know yet.
I need to see what exists out beyond and think.
Please don't kill Morgan.
Who has the compass?
I do.
I would prefer not to take it. I'm not much of a fighter.
And I would prefer you didn't take it.
I don't know if you would feel this, but I would very much like to use the magic trick that Rasputin taught me to move my hand into my own pocket and let it come out in Sasha's pocket to take the compass.
Okay.
And I don't know if you want to say to Sasha if she feels that or not. Might impact her.
Let's do let's go with a dexterity and subterfuge, or dexterity. Don't really have a athletics.
Mm-hmm.
And that will go off that as to how
So-
obvious it is.
Do I roll in athletics or do I roll a dex?
Oh, Nell would roll this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got
I
it.
just think that you knowing it or not might impact
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
you react, so I'll roll that.
You're skilled enough to take it without Session knowing with those 3 successes, but you can also, if you wish, to signal to her or to intentionally, like, you know.
Actually, I will. So Sasha briefly feels a hand goes into her pocket.
It would be where you know the compass is. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll quickly, as I'm like facing her, I'll just quickly like hold a hand like quickly to my pocket. And I'll be like, "How about a trade?" As I feel like the compass like slipping out of my pocket, obviously, because it's still being taken.
Interesting. What is your trade?
Kira. Bring us Kira. You can get into the spirit realm. Easy, I'm sure. And we need our friend back. In whatever form she is.
Done.
She will, Sasha will let go of her pocket and, like, kind of, like, let go of her side where she was holding it. And, like, still allow, like, Nell to take it. You know, like...
The compass, then.
Why should we trust you?
You have no choice.
There's always a
True.
choice.
You cannot touch me.
I don't need to touch you to try and do my damnest sure that you don't get that compass.
Feel free to try.
Please don't hurt
There's
them.
really no hint of Shelby in you left anymore, huh?
Would you like to try?
No. No. I'll look at Nell. Like, no. We've already lost enough. And she will gesture to Gaia. We just want our friend back. And I mean, technically, we, I guess you could say, helped free you.
I don't know why we
So-
should trust him to give
It's
us.
not that it's not that we don't
Kira,
have to trust him. It's
Sasha.
just he's kind of indebted to us, that kind of thing.
He doesn't. Can I, Sheepy, roll empathy or something to get a feel on this guy?
Yeah. That would be. I would say either wits or intelligence, and either empathy or expression. Wits empathy would be kind of like reading, whereas intelligence and expression, for example, would be much more clinical.
I'll try reading.
Okay.
Oh,
1 success. Nothing there to read.
yeah.
So you're not Shelby at all anymore?
Nell teleports away.
Okay. Shelby Kiljara turns around and looks to you, Alfie. I am. But who I am now just overrides that. It's who I always was.
So you never cared about teaching us?
To be fair,
He didn't really have a choice, to be fair.
Shelby
Doesn't
never
matter.
cared either.
I'm gonna pick the gloves back up.
I was gonna say, I think he already picked him up, right?
Oh, did he?
He picked
Yeah.
them up and put them on.
Okay. I'm gonna walk over to him then and like... It's so stupid. And Alfie knows this, but it's purely emotional. Just try to like pull the gloves off of his hands.
Yeah, you reach out and then stop. Just the hands stop. You can't push any further. The more you push, the more you are pushed back against. But it's never pushing away, it's just stopping. What are you doing, Alfie?
We
Being
cared about
foolish.
you.
Oh, God, here we go.
You seem to care about us.
Shelby did.
What about Kilja?
Killjar was forced to be a balm to those who are hurting. No different from any other tool, any other piece of magic.
So all of it was a lie.
None of it was real. Just a dream.
And it meant nothing to you?
What should it mean?
Sometimes people find meaning in whatever madness they're subject to.
What meaning?
Whatever you make of it.
Meaning. Kiljara,
Session.
when the council made you, obviously, when they created a being, their own desires were fueled by it. And if my creations desire order, like I do, what is it that you desire?
Nothing. You made what you made through fate. And fate is a little bit alive. And fate has its own designs. I was created from nothing. Without fate. I was created for a purpose. Therefore, I have no desires. I have
Except
no-
to kill the council.
I may kill the council.
Why then, if you have no desires or wants or needs? Just because?
I mean, they
'Cause
did
it's a
kind of
thing to
imprison
do?
him. And they did kind
Are
of,
you really
use him for
justifying this right
badifying.
now?
I mean, honestly, after
I'm like-
everything that's happened, yes.
I'm like punching against the wall at this point. That doesn't it doesn't make any sense. You have to have some kind of desire if you feel compelled to get revenge.
It would not be revenge.
It's just something to do,
It'd be,
a weekend activity.
kind of proactive, tying up loose ends and whatnot. I mean, what's stopping them from doing it again?
Oh my god, Sasha.
I mean, am I wrong?
Am I wrong? How is it possible that he wants to go and potentially kill the council, but he has no wants or needs? It doesn't make any sense. He must have been created with something.
At this point, he's kind of stopped and just looking interestedly between the two of you as you're arguing.
You
I don't
can't
know.
make something out of nothing. That's not how it works. There's equivalent exchange. There's something. That's something we were taught. It takes something to make something. If he believes he was made out of nothing, it just means another lie. That's a lie that he's living or something. And you're just gonna buy into it? You're not even gonna question it.
I don't know this stuff. Alfie,
We were
This is not-
taught in the few lessons that we had. Did you retain nothing? You must have some kind of meaning. And I turn back towards Kiljara. Maybe you don't know it, but you must.
I do.
So then what?
What are the domains of magic?
I mean, there's several. Death, matter, forces,
Fate,
time and space,
time, life.
spirit, mind, fate, life, and
Prime.
prime.
And one more. Void.
That's not.
Actually, that kind of makes sense now that I think about it.
That's not a thing. That's not.
It's not a thing that you know. Right, Alfie?
I'm sorry. Is it a thing that you know?
No, that's exactly my point.
Then shut up. Like, why do you think you're so
you're not
smart?
I'm not smart. That's the thing. We've been taught specifically these domains, right?
Yeah, and you just seem to accept anything that gets thrown at you.
What is stopping the council from hiding that from us? Hiding it from everyone.
It wouldn't just be the council. It would be literally everyone. Do you know how difficult that would be to cover up?
Do you understand who the council is and what they've been doing?
I'm very well aware.
Do you see what they created? It's not out of their wheelhouse.
Just the same.
No, I created it from something. It needed a sacrifice, and that was Kira. Kira was the sacrifice.
Speaking of that, would you like your eye back, Sesha? I would have to negate the spell you put down, but it can be brought back if you like.
What did you give your eye for?
I used a spell I wasn't fully familiar with, and it was to help get Kira away from my creations and to stop using her as a battery. It was to displace her in the spirit realm so that they wouldn't have access to her and continue expanding their domain.
And you don't know where she is now?
No.
Wouldn't negating it then
it would
give
put
Kira back to them?
Exactly, which is why I am going to have to decline the offer.
Very well.
Sacrifices have to be made.
So what is this void magic then? If you can teach us one more thing before you do whatever you do.
And
he's bringing us back Kira.
He opens his hand slightly. I am.
Just you.
Just me.
So you are a new form of magic nobody's ever heard of that the council just made.
It was a side effect of creating me.
It's an abomination.
Feel free to try and correct their mistake.
You'd have to give something so immense just to rectify it. Just to rectify your existence. What could possibly be enough? I just look at Sesha and there's fear in Alfie's eyes as she considers the idea that it might have to be Kira. It might be.
Well, Kiljara, you better be on your way. We miss our friend dearly.
Sesha.
So,
The magic you put on the gem that was Kira was just to stop them from finding her, yes?
Correct.
Then I'll take my leave.
No. No. Sesha, take his deal.
We'll see you soon, Kiljara.
Sasha, take his deal, please.
And he starts walking forward a little bit,
No, 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 no.
raises his hands,
Please stop.
stops, turns.
Please, please don't do anything to Kira.
I can't promise that. I won't
You have
know
to.
until I get there.
There's got to be another way.
See you soon. We'll be waiting here.
This house won't be here when I leave.
We have to get out of the house before he leaves.
And he turns around again, raises his gloves.
And I grab Sasha by the arm and I pull her out of the white room, or I'd start running out of the white room.
Slides his hands into, like, the gap between reality and starts ripping open. Which, at that point, if Sasha lets you drag her...
Yeah, I do.
Then that will be as much as you see as the house starts to shake. And... you leave the white room.
I run out of the front door like this house is on fire. And I'm yelling at this point, Nell, we need to get out now!
There's a good question. Where did Nell go?
Where did Nell go?
Nell did not go somewhere else in the house.
I didn't think so.
Yeah. Nell was at the very familiar front door of a house of a former mentor.
It's not a house anymore. It is a crumbling charcoal remains of a house.
Yeah, she rushes forward and starts looking through the remains, not necessarily looking for something.
Yeah.
But yeah, a solid 5 to 10 minutes pass that she just starts like pushing away rubble.
Getting a bit charcoal blackened and maybe singed a couple of times. Looking for anything in particular, or just...
I don't think so in the beginning. I think if you'll allow me, she'll just start digging around there aimlessly until she gets out Merlin's mug.
Yeah. The handle's snapped off, but the mug itself is still mostly intact.
And I think the moment she finds that, she stops aimlessly going through the rubble, and stands up to look around at the remains of the house, slowly getting it that this is actually what is happening. And it very much looks like she is on the verge of tears. But she's actively trying to stop them from falling.
Yeah.
As if she doesn't want to allow herself to cry for this. And she takes a step back out of the rubble, back towards the street. And places the mug on the exact spot where she would always drop things when they were co-located here. And she'll then allow herself to cry.
Okay. And camera will pan back a bit, fade off, to rejoin Sesha and Alfie charging out of the house as it starts to shake, as it starts to crumble, and as it starts to disappear. It essentially, and probably both of you can see this to a certain degree, magic is unwinding. Spells that have been in place have either been completely destroyed or disappeared. The ones that are left are unwinding themselves, are essentially unraveling. The house itself disappears. Essentially, slowly at first, it starts to fold into itself until ultimately it folds into absolute nothingness. There's just a space in the plot. Anyone walking past it will notice no difference. That place has always been empty.
Alfie just kind of like drops to her knees and starts like hyperventilating, realizing what's probably going to happen. It's going to be all for nothing. You literally lost your eye for nothing. We went to the spirit realm for nothing. You fought those things for nothing. We were brought here for nothing.
Alfie. Everything we do affects our fate, and thus affects everyone else's around us.
We're never going to see Kira again.
To be fair, she was supposed to be dead.
But we knew she wasn't.
She was supposed to.
You confirmed that she wasn't.
I know. Fate had a different plan. Well, I'm done sitting around here. Where's Nell? We have to get that lantern. Or are you just going to sit here and mope the whole time?
What do we do?
Well, we could either sit here and feel sorry for ourselves and sit here and regret choices that have already been made, already set in stone, or we just keep walking.
To where? There's nowhere to go.
Probably not here.
Alfie. You hear a little sizzle. A tiny scar opens up in the air. A little lined with kind of embers. And a tiny little shadow pops out and hovers, carrying a tiny little piece of paper. Kind of bumps into your head. Just
I just kind of look up and just kind of like scoop it in my hand. Almost like pet it. And take the little note.
gonna take a look. It has a address. Quite a long way away from here. Different country. And just says Sanctuary. And then it's signed Morgan.
Well, I'll be damned. I just lift the paper to show Sesha.
What was that you were saying? It's nice to have mentors that care. Guess you could say that you lucked out.
I guess I did.
And when one door closes, another one opens. Let's get to walking. Now!
We'll probably have to go to the airport.
Now!
And I'll get up and start walking.
Couple of days should see us there. It's not too bad.
If now we're here, it'd probably be a lot quicker, right?
We will make do with what we have.
You don't seem like the type of person who's taken a bus before.
No. I'm used to, houses with legs. My kind of style.
So weird. I just try to make our way to a bus stop.
And we're gonna end there. It's a little early, but it feels appropriate. With Alfie, Beta, and Sesha walking off in the night. Nell kneeling down, sitting down in the broken ruins of a house, or near them. And next time we'll come back and see where they end up. So, how's everyone doing?
Worse
gotta
than
take it
last
off.
time.
Ugh.
It's not a sheepy story if one of us doesn't start fucking crying.
I can see.
It's a miracle!
That makeup is so good.
It
I've
was
literally
pretty
been
good.
staring at your face this entire time.
Oh, I can see.
So, yeah, we've ended a little bit early this time, but if you'd like to chat about anything, very quickly before we go into outros and whatnot, the floor is open.
Bruh.
Yeah, I know.
The realization, like, I don't know. Alfie's very book smart, so when it comes to like theory and shit, she'll probably pick up on shit like a little, I don't know, or seem to pick things up. So when he's like, "Oh, well, I'm nothing," it's like, you can't be nothing. Nothing is something. You've got to be something.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't have given him the gloves.
Would have turned out worse if you didn't.
Probably. But I think, like, Alfie was so kind of distraught and felt so guilty that she just kind of did. And then realized that might have been a bad idea.
Like,
I think it's really funny how we switched places too, because like Soldier's like, no, we need to get something out of it, and then like I was like, no, take it, and she's like, gosh dang it, girl, like what the heck?
yeah.
Mm-hmm. But
Yeah.
then
And later-
Nell took off with the compass.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, like Sesha and Alfie switched in, like, I guess, outlooks with Kiljara.
Yeah.
Well, she really wanted something out of it. That's why the only reason why she was like, no, don't give the gloves yet. Don't give the gloves yet. She's like, there's got to be like something we can like get out of this instead of just, be left like empty-handed.
Well, he offered to restore your eye.
Yeah, which she was like, no. Because it's like if it goes back into the hands of like, those creations, it's like,
Yeah, I'll just...
See, that was the reason why Alfie wanted her to get her eye back, so that it could be undone, and maybe there would be still a way to get her back, because then it would mean that she has a bunch of beings protecting her until there's a way to find a different option, like whether that's Guinevere or something else, like just another powerful entity to replace whatever was not there in the first place. But now he has free reign, pretty much, once he finds her.
And the fate spell does not shield it from him.
mm-hmm. Yep.
So.
Also, I don't know whether you guys remember, especially you, Vandy, but, do you remember what happened in the closet with Killjoy?
He got rid of people's magic at one point. He just, like, nerfed it. Which is why I was like... That's why I remembered. I was like, okay, so he can just, like, negate magic temporarily. And if this is an extension of... Like, if this is the merging of Kilja and... fucking... Shelby, Christ. It's gonna be a very powerful being who can just take all this magic away and just absorb it, pretty much. But because it's a void, it has a limit, you know? Or it must have a limit eventually.
Yeah.
And Kira's gonna have to fill that void. Possibly. That's my theory. I don't know if that's true or not, but that was what I came up with, and I was like, oh, that's not good.
Yeah, there's some rough possibilities in there.
Mm-hmm.
Did Sesha pick up on what Baba said?
With with which part?
She was glad you only had to sacrifice an eye.
Oh. Yeah,
You know,
a little bit.
hanging around with a powerful fate mage lets them tinker. And then, of course, there's Merlin, who isn't quite as.
Hey, Sheepy.
Hey.
Fuck you. How about you,
fair.
out of all the characters that you could choose that to have their trust stample upon, is the one with trust issues? Specifically from male authority figures.
Literally the only authority figure she cared for or trusted. Yeah, as the show has gone on, I've been feeling worse and worse about it the whole way through, where I'm just like, oh, this is going to be horrific when it happens.
Really? Like, even just because the
Welcome.
second before that scene, Nell was like holding the doll and was like, oh, I could really use you right now.
Yeah.
Didn't even fucking hug him.
And the moment
Couldn't even fucking hug him.
the
Bro,
moment
that-
you did that kinetic thing with the hug was like, no, that was like,
Bro,
something's
that
off.
shattered me.
And
That
then you were
fucking
talking
shattered me.
different, and I was like, no, 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 no.
I mean, you know, no one's going to suspect the doddering old man who's like, I'm crazy and I'm making biodegradable bookmarks, and you know.
Ugh. But Morgan the homie.
The fucking part of you saying, oh, it must be nice to have mentors that care for
Bro!
you.
Ugh.
And then,
Bro!
And then at the
The
end,
fucking
like, you know, like
the debate. The entire debate. I just sat there and I'm like, wait, what?
also, I'm sorry I yelled at you.
Oh no, it's fine. Like, it's okay. It's RP and we good. We did the whole like aftercare thing. That's the one thing, like, I know a lot of people when they're watching us, you know, we are not our characters.
Yes.
We are playing characters. And just as a reminder that we very much like each other. Even if in RP sometimes it doesn't seem that way. No, we're all friends, and we're all professional. I feel like I can say that because like we're, you know,
Yeah.
it really is just, you know, there's no bleed whatsoever. Like I look at Nell, I look at Kat, and I'm just like, still the homies forever, no matter how annoying Sesha
I love
is
how
to
you just
Alfie.
said that and
Yeah,
you
he
said
said
Nell
Nell
instead of
instead of
Sai.
Oh, sorry. Syrinx. I know, it's like
We look
No
at Nell
bleep,
and we look at
what's-
Sesha and they're like,
Syrinx
yeah,
though,
we're
I don't know. No. Syrinx and Kat.
Yeah.
And then obviously Sheepy, who is an emotional terrorist, but you know, we still keep coming back for more for some reason. So
Don't say it like I'm some kind of, you know, freaking menace to society.
you
who's just
are.
like,
You're a menace to our emotions. But you do an
Pretty
excellent
sure
job.
too last night in our group Discord, you're like, I'm trustworthy.
Who, me?
I'm
Oh, him.
I'm
Oh,
trustworthy.
yeah, no, never trust him. Never trust him when he says that. It usually means that something really bad is coming.
Look,
We love you for it.
I
We really do.
I
I mean,
wanted.
we have to. We're still here.
I wanted very much to rescind my plan because I was like, the two council members who everyone will probably feel reasonably good about, and like a little bit iffy maybe with Baba, but they're kind of weirdly trustworthy and nice. Was Baba and Merlin, and obviously, obviously those two were the ones who were not behind it all, but behind a lot of it. Let's face it. And obviously the ones that people wouldn't trust is Guinevere and Morgan. And now
Sasha doesn't Sasha saw from she knew that Baba was up to no good, but so she's not really surprised, but at the same time she's like, gosh dang it, I didn't catch it before it happened, because usually she's pretty spot on about it, but she's like, oh, I didn't catch it.
I mean, we really have the whole spectrum, though, eh? We have we love this mentor turned, oh my god, he's the worst. We have we don't really like this mentor, but oh my god, she actually gives a shit. And then we have the mentor in the middle who's like, well, it's Baba.
Yeah.
And then Guinevere, who's just like,
no, thank you.
fucking loopy. Oh yeah, she's. She's
like
almost
that,
like the main antagonist in a way.
It's like that meme of looks like a cinnamon roll could kill you. Looks like they could kill you is a cinnamon roll.
Yeah. Morgan is definitely looks like they could kill you, but is a cinnamon roll.
100%.
Merlin
looks like a cinnamon roll could kill you.
Could kill you.
I don't know what you're talking about. Merlin is a perfectly fine person.
Merlin is a snake.
He's a
wizardy snake.
And
no.
part of me was just like, I am looking forward to him riding in on lightning and then riding away on lightning as well. Just
it's from edible bookmarks to lightning cages.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, that took a turn.
Did you notice he didn't even magic circle, or there wasn't preparation or anything? It's just
he just fucking did it. He just dipped.
I also noticed that I wasn't expecting a single fucking thing.
What from today's session?
Yeah, basically. I was kind of dreading. I felt so conflicted on the decision of whether or not I should bolt with the compass, because I was like, there's so much behind this decision, because he just promised he could get Kira back, but then he's also clearly, there's some bad vibes around him. But also, if we let him do what he wants to do, when he will do, then that will help the two baddies who just betrayed us. And it was like, fuck, what will I do?
You were all unfortunately caught up in some very long-reaching planning and machinations and everything. You may have noticed that, you all, everything that you did kind of pushed you into a position where when you met Gaia, there's really only one direction you could go. And then, basically, and I think you've probably figured this out, the one regret that Gaia had was sealing Kiljara. And when she died, the seal broke, which allowed Kilja and Shelby to
remerge.
Which is essentially, to a certain degree, what your purpose was, but very specifically what Sasha's purpose
was to allow Kilja and Shelby to merge?
To kill Gaia. So that... You remember when you drew your sword the first time?
Oh, no!
Which is why she got really angry when Gaia did die, because she realized she's like, I got freaking played.
Yeah.
I freaking fell
really
right into
death.
I fell right into it, and it's like
Yeah, I hate to see it.
So that's why she's like angry. She's like, I'm just. And she also too, she noted too that Baba was over by Guy, and she's like, don't touch that, don't touch that. No. And
But
then of course something else got taken.
You guys got distracted because you were arguing, so Baba was like, "Hi, yoink."
But she knew, like, Sasha knew. She's like, no, stay away from that.
Yeah.
Don't.
Oh,
I know you old crone.
I apologies, Syrinx, as well for the for like interjecting in the time thing. I wasn't sure. You know, when you were rewound in time and you were back where you were. I wasn't sure, and I didn't want to have to like correct you because it was running quite smoothly, so I just wanted to interject quickly. But it's a shame I didn't just hold off and let you play through it like completely. But it was still great, like so cool.
Don't worry about it. I was doubting for a second as well, but you made it clear that it was like a thing of like, oh, everything's just back to normal and you don't remember anything, and
you're
back to this.
I'm glad you said something. I'm glad you said something because I sat there and I was like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, I was like, wait a second.
Like,
even I was just kind of
like, I was like I felt like I had just not paid attention for about 30 seconds. And then came back and I was like, I don't remember what just happened. And disconnect. But I was paying attention. So I felt like there was like, I was like, what the fuck just happened? And then when you explained it, I was like, oh, okay, I'm not crazy. I literally just, this is deliberate. So Syrinx is just built different when it comes to RP because I'm sitting there, I'm just like, her fucking,
no, but you weren't there. You weren't there the first time when Sheepy did it with, fuck, we forgot him.
Yeah.
With Rasputin.
Yeah, with the kid, with the other student you created.
You should have seen their faces when they were
you
just
weren't
like,
there.
What's happening?
He did that, and Kat and I completely went with it. We're like, oh yeah, so he's just here now, yeah. So it was exactly like that a moment where it was like, oh, Sheepy's clearly doing something weird, so it must have a reason. So you just go with it,
and you just roll with it.
That one I was like, okay, but like this one with Nella, I was like, am I okay?
Yeah, I literally felt like I had
deja vu.
I felt like my brain had a hiccup, like when that happened. I was like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Whoa!
You were so lucky that you opened the door and like let Baba in the second time. If you hadn't, she'd have put you in a loop.
Ooh.
And we would have just been like, okay, well, that's going to go on for a while until Baba stops it, so let's keep going. And we would have carried on with everyone else while you were just looping in time.
And people wonder why Sasha and Baba get along so well.
Yeah.
Absolute menaces to society.
I mean, literal mage society, the council is now fairly threatened.
She loves to hate the old crone.
So, and this might be a spoilery question because it's not 100% to me. But now that Kiljara is back as an entity, does that mean now, because he's intending on killing the council, but like his whole existence was what was like fueling the council and allowing them to like live and stuff. So does that mean that now he's alive? Oh no, I guess that wouldn't mean that the council would die then, just by proxy. Okay, never mind. Sorry, I was like trying to think. I was like, how does that relationship work? But no, his existence, so long as he exists.
If his existence was destroyed, then the spell itself would become undone.
Yeah. Okay.
But he still exists, so his purpose still exists. Or like the thing is this is and this isn't really spoilery. I think you can pick it up through context clues. Like his entire purpose is external to himself.
Yeah.
Like that, he has no point. He has no like personal anything. His purpose is to essentially fuel the magic and fuel the life force of the council, and
he's a living battery. Which
is very similar to what happened with Kira and with the other entities, Moonface. It's just there's a real little twist of fate, because fate was used to create it this time. Or fate was like manipulated in that instance. So it's not completely different, but there's differences between them. And I'm sorry.
I still have to work after this. I hope you know that.
Oh
Like-
no!
I still have to do hours of work after this. You fuck. Like, no, I always appreciate a good sheepy story that emotionally damages us. So
Emotionally cascades.
oh fuck. I mean, it's mine, landmine after landmine, right? Like it's
No, you know what this was? You often have in like water rides and theme parks, you often have the job, and you feel like, oh, this is the big job, and then you like go off and you're like, whew, okay, boy, that was a big job. And then like unbeknownst to you, go around the corner, and then the big job is actually there, and you're like,
yeah.
oh fuck.
Yeah. And then your breath catches in your chest and you can't,
You just
think for a
scream.
second. Just I can't even scream when it goes to like when we're on drops and stuff on roller coasters. I do not like roller coasters.
Before
I'm so scared of well, not even scared. I do not. Nope.
Before we started the show, like came on camera and everything, we were talking about last session and everything, and like along those lines. And I can't remember who said it, but someone was like Sheepy, you really you really got us last time. And I was like, yeah, sometimes. And Vandy was like, you got to be careful with Sheepy, because he'll set like landmines, and sometimes they just keep going. I'm sitting here like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Just the
sometimes-
foreshadowing.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know. Like I thought when Sheepy and I discussed, because we had we had recorded that thing, but the audio fucked up, right?
Yeah, the audio
For
didn't.
last episode. It's so unfortunate because it was a good little thing. But
This is a nice
anyway,
song.
the intent because I was away last week, the intent was to have me go to the spirit realm, whatever, come back, and like I kind of knew vaguely what I was going to be running into, but
Did you enjoy
the rest of this absolutely not, because I didn't have time to watch last episode. I just got the Cliff's notes.
Yeah.
So then when everyone came up and they're just like pissed, injured, there's a shrinking house and Shelby fucking on the ground, there's a pile of crystal that used to be a powerful mage, and then two other powerful mages show up. It's like, oh my god, like what the fuck happened? Like
Did you enjoy your time in the Vale?
I did.
I
did. I love the Vale.
Yeah.
I think it's such a cool space. And one obviously that my character is well fit for, but
Yeah.
interesting settings like, loops and vast expanse, but also everything is like the sense of space is still weird, and
Yeah.
and then almost like this hierarchy of spirits, or I guess souls.
Yeah.
Um,
And if you
so,
go
yeah.
if you go deeper, it gets interesting. But yeah.
you see, you fade out like that as though there's landmines in there too, and I'm not falling for it. So fuck you, Sheepy.
Well, but you had a nice little bit of revenge on that revenant.
Yes.
And you got Beta out of there, and you sidestepped a very, very big landmine. Actually, all three of you did. Like, there was a moment in this episode where it would have been very, very bad for all of you, and it just side-skirted the really
What
bad.
was it?
Was it if we didn't give the gloves and the other pieces?
It was more if you got in the way.
Yeah. I can imagine that would have not ended well.
I mean, like Sasha definitely, she was smart about it too. Like she was like, okay, well, obviously I'm gonna have to give up this compass no matter what. But I'm going to see if I can try and at least get something kind of out of it, at least. You know. So that's why she was like, I don't know. What if we do a trade? Even though they're yours.
I loved that moment because like it made me think like, oh, do I want Sasha to notice that I'm taking it or not? And I felt like, okay, well, it's like easy to be like, oh, you don't notice it, but just the fact that Sasha would notice it and know that it was taken, also probably deducing that Nell could take that, it was like testing, like, okay, you need to trust me with this.
I will say that I layered in a few little hints as to the nature of Shelby and the situation and everything. The voiding, the void magic that Killjoy did in the thing. How he wasn't really affected particularly much by the magic and everything. Also, when Shelby came back with holes in him, I was wondering.
And then seeing a hole in
Gaia.
No, in Baba, wasn't it?
No, Gaia took. Gaia was the one with the hole. Yeah. That's why I'm like Baba.
But Shelby, remember when he came back from his punishment with Kira? It's you can't punch holes in people and they survive, but he's not.
I don't know. That's fucking Mage shit. Who knows?
I know.
Wow, sorry we didn't follow the logic there.
Like, how the fuck are we supposed to know?
Like these...
I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes you throw us some like these breadcrumbs, and you're like, "Did you catch
curveballs?"
And a part of me, I'm like, "Yeah, no,
absolutely not."
They're all things that you wouldn't be able to know. Like you see it, and you're not gonna see that, and you're not gonna go, "Oh, he's a void thing, king. He's a creation." But you can look back at it later and go, "Oh shit."
It makes sense.
Yeah.
There's very little I think that we could have done to know or find out that knowledge, especially at the time.
No. Not really.
But that's okay.
No.
I think, like for these purposes. So.
It was set up in such a way that, like, technically speaking, you could hunt down Baba or Morgan maybe, or even Guinevere, but you're not going to, because that's fucking suicide. You could talk to Killjoy, but he's not going to tell you anything, and there's nothing you can really do to force it out of him. And Shelby was completely ignorant of everything, so he literally didn't know anything. But if you'd have talked to him, like, started really questioning him, you would have realized that he has no idea about his past. He's very scatterbrained. He has, like, he forgets shit really easily, and so. Sheepy needs to run off to pee. So how about we do outros? Who did I hurt the worst today? Probably.
Definitely Syrinx.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably Nell and Syrinx. So let's start with Nell and Syrinx. You do your outro, hot potato, and I'll try to get back in time for my outro.
All right, go away so you don't hear the things we say about you. Yes. Yes. Run away.
Dag nabbit.
Run away, you little British man.
Oh my goodness.
Hi, I'm Syrinx. I've been playing Nell, the emotionally devastated, cannot count the times her trust has been broken now in one hand. Space and forces mage. I'm really excited to see where the next episode is gonna go, because this episode was like a roller coaster of emotion where it was like, oh, I'm sad now. Oh, but I'm angry at you now. All right, I'm okay again. I'm like sad-ish. Okay, yeah. Oh no, but I need to help you. All right. Oh no, I'm very angry at you again. So yeah. And I'll hot potato it to Cat. Yeah.
As she takes a bite of.
Yeah.
What is that? What are you eating?
It's an apple.
Okay, I was gonna say I was eating apple earlier too, and I was like, that's just delicious. It's a good snack.
It is. It's really good.
Especially for
I played I played Sesha, who now has one eye. I was thinking, I was like, oh man, like having my other eye back would be like really good because then I don't have to have like an eye covering or whatnot. But then I was like, wait a second, there are actual repercussions with this, so maybe I shouldn't. Definitely enjoyed all the interactions with all of the mentors and the other characters. It was really, really good. So yeah, you can find me on Twitch. I'm Kat. Also on Twitter, I'm CatCat. I'm going to be doing a Friday show now, starting this Friday. We are going to be doing it's on Diefall, and it's going to be doing the Spelljammers module. So basically, if you like Treasure Island, or not Treasure Island, Treasure Planet, like that.
I'm so excited for that, by the way. Like, so many friends in that show. Literally, I think I genuinely love every single person in that show and that cast and the DM. So like I'm very excited to see it. Hell yeah.
So yeah, I'll be on Friday. And I will toss it to Vandy.
Hi, I'm Vandy. I play Alfie every week, and I cry sometimes on Sheepy streams because Sheepy just makes grown women cry, apparently.
Don't phrase it like that, please.
I'm kidding. I say this with the utmost love. I would rather cry in Sheepy's presence and in the presence of everyone here than anywhere else. As much as for whatever it's worth, I guess. But it's not the first time. It won't be the last, and I don't regret it. And I will keep coming back for more.
It's been a little while.
I know, none of it sounds good. I'm sorry.
When was the last time? Ender Sunkist?
Yes. Oh, Sunkist, I cried like a baby. Oh my god, I was weeping. It's always towards the end of the campaigns, honestly. I just start like, because I give a shit all of a sudden. Somehow you make me care about fictional fucking characters. God damn it. Anyways, I love roleplay. This is so good. This is everything I love. But anyway, you can find me at OMG Vandy everywhere. I am not doing too much streaming at the moment, but my schedule is changing pretty dramatically over the next week or so. So hopefully, once I get settled in with everything, then I should be able to start kicking up some streams again, which would be kind of nice. I kind of miss doing it. Yeah, I'm playing games with people. That's it. And I'm gonna hot potato it over to our King of Tears.
The man that makes us cry.
Man
Honestly,
that makes
Kleenex.
grown women cry.
Regret, dislike for my new monikers. Hoping that this doesn't become a thing. Hello, I'm Sheepdog. I don't make women cry. I don't enjoy it. It's not. No. But I do enjoy making stories, and I do enjoy putting some emotions and things in there as well. So.
And if people cry, that's just a side effect.
True.
Hey, the shrapnel from these landmines can hit anyone. Sometimes they hit me.
Sometimes they get in our eyes. Sometimes they take somebody's eye.
Sometimes.
No, to be fair, that was my own doing, because I was like, well, if he won't take my eye, I will.
So, sometimes you end up making out with your vampire sister, like.
Okay, that's enough out of you. You know. We won't get into that. That's a completely other campaign. That was wrapped up ages ago. No, we're moving on.
Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed and have been enjoying Somnambulist. If you like this show, or if you're just interested, there's a whole load of other shows on the YouTube that you can go and check out. It is now The Wandering Inn on YouTube, and there should be a link for it down below or something. So go check it out. I am in the process of getting things together for announcements and stuff. There is a planned show coming up after Somnambulist, which I'm working on, and I think will be a lot of fun. I won't announce it quite yet, but being worked on. Dragon Riders Season 2 is up and coming. For now, it's going to be kind of towards the beginning of next year, so I'll give you much better an exact date soon. But it is coming, and it is going to be a lot of fun. And if you want to see more from The Wandering Inn, go check out the Patreon. Pledge what you can afford, pledge what you want, and as more people pledge, I'm able to do more things, I'm able to do more shows, but even... I don't want to say even without that, because then it's like, oh, even if you don't do Patreon. I have plans for other things. I'm going to see what I can do on the budget I have. So I'll try and bring you as much... I want to say entertainment, but that implies that everyone here just wants to see women crying all the time, which is... Again, it says a lot about me and my channel and my viewers. That is not everything we are. It's just like 95%.
95% women
Just make
crying.
us bottle up our tears, you know, and each character's tears. Here you go. You want to buy?
RP
You
girl.
want to buy?
RP girl tears.
Become a patron. I sell bottled tears of all of my cast members.
Oh my god, that's actually amazing. I would buy it. I mean,
Bottled
I-
grief.
You want Alfie? You want Alfie's tears? Here you go.
Alfie tears.
Alfie's tears from episode 11.
Oh my god. Oh,
There'll just come a point where I'm like, okay, all of the most important NPCs to you die. And grab your bottles, girls, and scoop and scoop.
it's a bottled
Oh my
tear
gosh.
farm. Yeah, yeah.
None of that is anything. That's just please.
All joking.
I love that Sheepy's like worried. Just be like, please don't cancel me over this. God damn it.
This is gonna get clipped and put on Twitter and oh god. So, thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the show. This outro is going to feel like the last couple of episodes. The outro hasn't felt as appropriate as it has all the way through the show, but that's just the price we pay. So, there won't be a live show next week, as it is Halloween and people have things to do. I'm not going to promise there'll be something next week, but keep an eye out and we'll see. So thanks for watching, everyone, and we will see you next time.